Hi folks, this is Chris from CDRGuns, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Caiman X from AirMaks Arms. This is a very light bullpup style rifle, just over 3 kilos, or 6.6 pounds in old money. It measures 695mm from butt to the end of the muzzle. I've currently got an AirMaks S moderator fitted, which makes it a little longer, but it's still a very compact rifle. It's also very quiet. I used this for a few weeks without a moderator in the back garden just to have a little play, and I don't think any of my neighbours were any the wiser. But as an air gunner, we like to make it quieter, so I've got the S mod on there just to help bring that down a bit. So throughout this video you'll probably only hear the ting of the hammer hitting the valve. Of that 695mm length, 520mm is the barrel, so that's 27-inch rifle, 20-inch barrel. That's impressive. The air cylinder holds 285 cc's of 300 bar compressed air. This is enough to give, during my personal testing, around about 200 full power shots. You can reach out to 300 shots, but you are dropping in power. By that point I was down to around about 10.9, which is obviously still quite usable, especially for plinking, but it's not going to be as accurate, so you wouldn't want to go that far for hunting. But 200 shots is still a pretty darn good shot count. Features wise, we'll be starting at the rear of the rifle. Here we have a height adjustable soft rubber butt pad. Simply loosen the Allen bolt, make your adjustment in the vertical plane, and then retighten. Moving forward we have the safety. This is a crossbar design and not only prevents the cocked rifle from being fired, but also an uncocked rifle from being cocked. It is manual and resettable. Next up we have the stock cutout leading to the magazine recess, which allows the self-indexing magazine to be loaded from the right hand side. Due to my cross-dominant eyesight, I actually shoot this rifle left-handed, and I can confirm that the cutout in the stock and the magazine itself are not a problem at all for lefty shooters. You will also notice a pin just next to the magazine. This is one of a pair that secures the top half of the clamshell stock to the rifle. Moving forward we come to the side lever cocking system. This is easily swappable from right to left based on your preference. I personally love having the option to keep my weapon shouldered and on target whilst readying the next shot. This is ideal when a follow-up shot is required, such as when dealing with multiple targets. Above the cocking lever we have a standard Picatinny style optic rail which features a 20 MOA gradient to assist with longer distances. Moving down we have the adjustable two-stage trigger which offers a crisp and predictable shot release. Moving forward from the trigger area, if we look at the underside of the rifle, we find a UIT rail, also sometimes called an Anschutz rail, to which we have attached a Picatinny adapter for a bipod. All AirMaks Arms rifles supplied by CDRGuns come with this Picatinny adapter you see fitted here as a standard item in the box. Moving up from the rail on the right hand side we have the recess for the filling probe, and on the left we have the pressure gauge. At the very front of the rifle we have a modular shroud system. I've fitted the optional 1/2-inch UNF adapter, which again comes standard on CDRGuns supplied rifles. If you watched my last video I uploaded, which was a teaser from this rifle, you'll already know it's a pretty accurate gun. Whether I was shooting chalk men to make them explode at 25, that was done at short distance just for the camera. Spinning the spoons at 40 or ringing the bell at 60, it had no issues at any of those distances. But let's see how it groups. We start off the grouping test with JSB Heavy in a 4.52 size. This is a pellet that I would expect to perform very well with a CZ barrel bullpup. But as you can see from this 10-shot string, it was not very tight. I found that with most heavier 177 pellets, as the average weight increases, the variation in weight from pellet to pellet also seems to fluctuate to a larger extent than when using lighter pellets. Next up in the group test we have JSB Exacts in the 4.50 size. This is a pellet that I find works very well with pistols, where the looser fit helps to overcome their lower power limitations. But in rifles I think it doesn't make great use of the lands and grooves of the rifling and so tends to be less accurate. This is of course a generalisation of my personal experience, nothing more, but the results here certainly do tend to follow that pattern. Our third 10-shot group comes from the 4.51 size of JSB Exact. This is the pellet that I was confident would give the tightest group, as for the last few weeks I've been using AirArms 4.51 as my go-to pellet with great success. As I'm sure you're aware, AirArms pellets are made by JSB using an almost identical die, and sure enough these pellets gave a very respectable group. The next fodder I had for it was JSB's in the 4.53 size. A few years back I was told by a very respectable source that using 4.53s in a sub-12 rifle could lose as much as a full foot-pound of energy. If you tried to claim your rifle was low power when using that size, they wouldn't entertain your claim until you retested it with 4.51s. However, I was given a tin to try a few months ago by a friend who was using them, and my other rifle had great success with them. So I added them to my stash of testing, and as you can see, they too grouped pretty darn well. Last on this target, I threw a curveball into the mix and loaded up some Bisley Magnums in 4.51 size. Now I can tell you from experience that loading an H&N pellet into the breech is nowhere near as smooth as a JSB derived pellet. I don't know if this is due to skirt shape or the pellet probe profile or what, but there is a notably increased effort required. It just doesn't glide in like the JSB pellets do. Having used the Caiman X for a few weeks prior to filming, I knew it could do better than the result I had just achieved, and I felt this was down to the scope cam attachment. It was proving very difficult to discern between the reticle and the aim point on the screen, even with a high illumination setting. So I removed the scope cam but left the other camera rolling and shot two further groups, which is the footage now on your screen. The scope, while we're on the topic, is a Hawk Frontier 5-15 by 44, and quite frankly the brightness and clarity of the image are absolutely first rate. I really do highly recommend Hawk scopes with their lifetime warranty. It's a brilliant choice. I picked up this little beauty from Anglia Tackle & Gun, where I get all my supplies from. They're a really great shop for your air gunning and fishing needs. The staff are really approachable and friendly and will happily give you their honest experience with any of the products on offer, instead of just trying to sell you the most expensive thing they can. Please do check out their website, or if you're in Norfolk then pop in for a visit. Without the scope cam getting in the way, we've got easily a sub 5p sized group. And that was JSB 451, just 10 shots, which is what I was expecting it to do. Unfortunately, it's a lot harder with the scope cam. But even so, we've still got a couple of 5p size groups. Obviously that one's got a flyer. Well, there you have it folks. That was the AirMaks Arms Caiman X. It's light, it's quiet, it's powerful, it's got a big shot count, it's one heck of a little rifle. Hopefully we'll see you in the next video soon.